Hey crew, I've got the key with this leather pouch and yellow contrast stitching to match the flare yellow paint job of this 25 Lexus IS 500. And this week, we're gonna see what it's like to live with. Starting with the spacing in my driveway, which is 16 feet wide by 19.5 feet long. I've got my M2 CS parked over here under a cover next to the Bluey family for Christmas, and it is pretty close to the edge. And the IS 500 is right at the edge. And with that spacing, there is plenty of room to walk between the vehicles. Both have power folding door mirrors. That is a new feature for 25 in the IS. At the front, the IS isn't terribly low, but it does have this long overhang. So it's good I've got curb ramps set up here to help with clearance of that gutter. And at the back, though the IS isn't over here, it and the M2 CS are about the same size. So if I can fit in front of the hedge here, I can with the IS. When first hopping in with the key fob on me, there is smart keyless entry, so I can just put my hand on the handle and open up the door. Getting inside, this car is not that low, so it's easy to slide on in, close up that door. Hey cabin crew, thanks for joining for this day in the life in the 25 Lexus IS 500. In this video, I want to see what it's like to live with the only remaining V8 compact sports sedan. So let's fire it up. Cool little animations on the gauge cluster and infotainment, and I saw the hood just rock back and forth as the V8 roared to life. Now let's hear the idle from outside the car. Not nearly as boisterous as I expected. That is super subtle. Not going to disturb any neighbors when you see them early in the morning, or if they at least hear you early in the morning before you leave for your commute. Now, before we get out of here, I want to show you where I would place the items I bring with me every day, like my iPhone 17 Pro, which doesn't really have a good spot. You do have room inside the console, but that's where I put my sunglasses because it is felt lined to protect the lenses and there isn't storage for these elsewhere. I also put my GoPro accessory case inside. Good that that did fit because it doesn't fit anywhere else. So yeah, the phone is just sitting in these cup holders. I mean, I could put it in the door pocket where I have my Ray-Ban Meta sunglass case and my slimline wallet, but really storage inside this car is at a premium. I couldn't even fit my 32-ounce water bottle in the glove box, so it's just sitting on the seat in the back. Not my favorite. Okay, let me throw in my seatbelt here. Pull the gear selector down into drive. The parking brake is automatically released, so I can roll on forward over those curb ramps, turn the wheel, and head on out. As I'm starting my day, I'll have a few convenience features turned on. If it is cold, well actually just anytime for me. I want the steering wheel heating going. There is just one setting for that though, so it does get kind of hot after a while, and I have to turn it off, which makes me sad. I love steering wheel heating. And then, if it is still cold, I will have the seat heaters on, or if it's warm, I'll have the seat ventilation going. The turn signal in the IS bothers me because it doesn't stay in the down position for left or up position for right. It comes back to center. So I feel like I haven't completed my job, even though yes, I can see and hear that the signal is in fact working. In addition to the features you can turn on to make yourself more comfortable, you're already feeling great in this car because the seat shape and padding is terrific. The bolsters hold me nicely in place, but it's a soft hug. It's not squeezing the life out of me. And yes, the padding is cushy. I wish there were thigh extenders to support the underside of my leg, and I wish I had a little more headroom than I do at 6 feet tall here. It feels a bit tight, but they're good chairs. If you're just moseying about town, running errands, or starting your commute, you will be grateful for the Eco Drive mode that I'm in right now because, well, you want to save as much fuel as possible with a naturally aspirated 5-liter V8 making 472 horsepower, 395 pound-feet of torque. But also, the throttle response in Eco is relaxed, so you can just make your way up to speed. Again, plenty of power here, so getting up to that speed is not a problem. But as you do so in Eco, it's not overly excited when you just want to chill. And in the interest of relaxing, if you are sitting at a light for a while, it's nice that there is an S3 that's ripping it. I mean, there's an auto hold feature that you can turn on and take your foot off the brake without moving. I must admit, that if you've been in anything modern recently, climbing into the IS cabin is going to feel like you took a trip back in time. The layout is just dated. You've got a CD player, for goodness sakes. It's cool, I guess, if you have CDs you've held onto and you want to play them, you can in this car, but yeah, it just doesn't look contemporary. Their acquiescence to modernity is tacking on a larger screen up here that doesn't work all that well. Yes, it is touch responsive, but you have a trackpad here that is your secondary use, and it's just, the sensitivity is not right. And the number of things you can do on that infotainment and the resolution are just not up to the segment standard at this point in time. I am, however, glad that they have retained the moving gauge cluster from the Lexus LFA and the Lexus LC500. It's just cool, even if the resolution isn't super sharp. All that to say, the casual daily drive is a nice one in the IS500, but if you want to spice things up, there's a V8 waiting for you. But that's a bit of a tease because I'm not ready for V8 yet. I need coffee first. So let's flip this bad boy around, test that turning circle. Oh my gosh. That's so good. I am curious now. If someone is driving recklessly on the road and I need to use my horn, what are they and I gonna hear? Oh, it's puny. I feel embarrassed. Guess I'll have to sink my feelings into a cup of coffee here at True Brew. I have discovered a parking space, so I'm gonna back on into it. Moving the gear selector up into reverse. That prompts a low-res backup camera. You do have the bird's eye view, that's nice. And my car is in yellow. Just like really, it's actually yellow, but they actually matched it. I appreciate that. Backing in with those trajectory lines and parking sensors? Question mark? Yes, they're there to tell me to stop. All right, Americano decaf, of course, and breakfast burrito have been acquired. Now to get in, let's see about that door opening space. That's the first notch. That would be too tight. I can go too easily without touching that car, and that's enough space to slide in very gracefully, of course. And we've got cup holders here with little prongs to keep the cup secure in place, and breakfast burrito is gonna sit there because I want to take the IS500 somewhere I can get a 360 view of the exterior. Because I think this car looks cool. You could be proud of it, walking out of a store, unlocking it, getting inside. And yeah, the spindle grille was so edgy and in your face when it first came out, but it's aged really well to fit with the bold designs we're seeing from some other cars. The spear hook LED daytime running lights are sharp with the triple beam projector headlights. This flare yellow paint job. I'm not really a yellow car guy, but the hue of this is just right. It's not obnoxious, but it does stand out with that metallic flake glittering at you. And that color is part of a package for $25 that comes with these 19-inch gloss black BBS wheels. I like the design of those. They're wrapped up in Bridgestone Potenza summer tires, gloss black details for the window trim and door mirrors and lower valence. The profile, this really hasn't changed. Very edgy, very Japanese in the design. Distinctive for sure. At the back is this low profile spoiler and a connected LED taillight bar. That's a change from a couple years ago. We're seeing it more in cars. I don't really like that design detail. I do love the quad outlet exhaust system though. That's a nod to the ISF and a very good one at that. So yeah, the IS500 styling is very familiar at this point, but it still looks sharp. And now I want to get back to my breakfast burrito, if you'll excuse me. That is a good burrito. My only complaint is that the only salsa they give you is pico de gallo. I prefer wet salsa personally. Oh, and the sun visor in the IS500 doesn't slide, so part of my face is being burned. Disassociated, but both important complaints. Today, I'm going to investigate the fun side of the 500, starting with a real-world 0 to 60 test. I've got my race box set up here to record. I'm in the Sport Plus drive mode. I disabled traction and stability control, and even though there isn't a launch control sequence, I cannot brake torque it, because if I do that, this is what happens. It's fun, but it's not good for acceleration. So instead, let's try rolling onto the throttle. And there's 60 in 4.55 seconds. It's not a bolt of lightning, but it's definitely exciting. I don't want to throw shade at a 4.5 second 0 to 60. That's still very quick, and not long ago, that would have blown people's minds in a compact sports sedan. It's just that now in the context of cars like the Audi RS3, similar price point to this, hitting 0 to 60 in the mid to high threes, that doesn't blow my mind. And importantly, acceleration times aren't everything. What I want to see is whether the IS 500 is entertaining through curves. And I mean, the mid-range is tremendous. It really does heap on the power. And the rear drive dynamics allow the rear end to rotate playfully. The steering isn't crazy quick, but it does actually have a good degree of feedback. It's funny though, this car reminds me a lot of the Miata in the way that it kind of rolls a little bit through corners. But that's communication. The brakes are strong, good feel to those as well. The engine is just a treat. So the old school feel isn't just the layout of the interior, it's not just the way this 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 sounds or performs. It's the way this car drives. Because it does move around, you have to set it up well before, during, and coming out of corners. It's going to reward that, and it will also punish misbehavior. And in the world of very flat handling sports cars, things that just go, that don't require as much skill behind the wheel, this is kind of a breath of fresh air. It's going to improve your driving, and that's going to make you want to drive the car more. You get to improve. You don't just get this device that outputs the same results regardless of input. Except for the sound of that V8. You don't have to do anything special except put your foot to the floor to make that sound so good. And I'm now in the manual mode of this 8-speed automatic. It was doing fine in auto mode, but I wanted to use these paddle shifters and I wanted to have that full control over the gearbox to see that the shifts are reasonably quick. It's not a bad gearbox. And operating it in manual mode is yet another way for you to interact with this car, which honestly is all you want to do. You want to have communication with it because it's talking to you. You got to talk back. I really do enjoy driving this. And I would hope that owners of the IS 500 would spend some quality time exercising their car. But what's perhaps the craziest part about all of that is doing it in the Sport Plus drive mode, the most hardcore mode for the IS, and yet I was comfortable the entire time. And it's not just these seats. The ride compliance is terrific, even on chewed up road surfaces. But now let's change course and see what my daughter thinks about this car when I pick her up from school. So how was school?
Good.
Yeah? Your fun run?
Yeah.
What happened at your fun run?
We had a dance party. People got sprayed, but I didn't.
A dance party? People got sprayed? You didn't get sprayed? What do you think of this yellow car?
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah. Now, can we blast off, Daddy?
Blast off?
Mm-hmm.
This is a good car for blasting off. Yeah, we can do that. I also want you to tell me what you think of the noise it makes, okay?
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Is it a popping sound?
It doesn't do the popping noises, but it has a good growl, okay?
Okay.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, blast off. Is that fun?
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
It's a good noise? Should you do it again?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Can we eat our food in the trunk?
Oh, in the trunk?
After we eat our food, can we get
Maybe. We'll have to see. We made it to Chick-fil-A. Let's grab our food and eat in the trunk.
Why don't we do In-N-Out?
You want to do In-N-Out instead?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Because we're already at In-N-Out.
We're already at In-N-Out. Yeah.
And we're at Chick-fil-A too.
Chick-fil-A?
Good place. Chick-fil-A. So we can, it's a good place to choose whatever we want.
Yes. And you want In-N-Out. That's great because
Yeah.
I want In-N-Out more than Chick-fil-A. Almost there. Can you taste it, Tally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the next car you're gonna review?
This one.
This one?
This is the IS 500.
IS 500.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm looking forward to that video. So.
You bet, man. A MilesPerHr fan at In-N-Out. That's cool. Rolando. It looks so good. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, our lunch setup awaits. Okay, so we've got our fries and we've got our burgers. Yes, I got an extra burger for me because I'm a glutton. How are you gonna fit in there? How am I gonna fit in there? I can do this. And now the back of the trunk's kind of like a backrest.
I did it.
Yeah, you did it. Here, can you lean back? Oh.
If I do, we'll fall back.
Yeah, maybe when you're a little older. Oh yeah, that part of the diffuser actually works. Look at that. I don't think Lexus ever thought of that when they designed this diffuser as a step for someone's feet. Your cheeseburger, madame. Cheers. Burgers taste better in trunks. This is what we've learned. Yum. Of course, we got acai too. And Mobile Mama showed up. Today we need to test the practicality with a Costco run to benefit the charity Families Forward. Well friends, this is no small batch of goods right here. The question is if all of this is going to fit in the compact Lexus IS 500's trunk. Let's survey the area. There are cubbies on either side, no trunk organization to speak of, and underneath the floor is a spare donut, so we can't put anything under that. Get to work. Update. I've got the deeper zone of the trunk filled out and I still have a lot of stuff left. Wish me luck. I thought I was doing so well. Only a few items left. Yeah, the cup of noodles fell, but that's okay. And then I realized that the goose hinges of the trunk will not close with anything under them. That makes this so much harder. I really don't like admitting defeat. I did my absolute best. I got almost everything in the trunk, but there are still a few items left. So I have to come over here and lower one side of the rear seats to complete the job. That is finally mission accomplished. So after returning my cart, like a responsible shopper, I can confirm that the Lexus IS 500 is Costco approved, but you need more than the trunk. On my way to Families Forward now to drop these things off. I'll be on the highway, so I'll have a chance to test the passing power in the mid-range, which is plentiful. Yeah, we kind of already knew that. And so that means that getting to the lane of your choosing is a very easy task and enjoyable. Okay, I'm gonna take it out of Sport Plus, go to normal, calm down, there it is, and now coast at highway speed and hear what the cabin volume is like. Fairly well insulated. I do get some wind and passing traffic noise. Very little in the way of tire hum, at least on this smooth tarmac. Now here's a concrete slab to compare. Yeah, a lot more tire noise there. I think it's on par for the compact luxury sport segment. It's just not amazing, but it would be a fairly relaxing way to commute. And if you didn't want to hear any outside noise, you do have the Mark Levinson sound system equipped to this vehicle and wired, not wireless Apple CarPlay. I did have to plug in my iPhone 17 in the cable with a USB connection, not USB-C. Again, we are a bit dated here. Anyway, at least we have CarPlay. I can pull that up, and it's actually pretty responsive. Get my song of choice, and using the physical volume knob to dial that up. I'm not sure what percentage of max this is, but it's about the right level there. All right, two things I noticed straight away. One, I wasn't aware of anything else except for this song. So yes, the sound system insulates you from other things happening. Two, the bass is properly heavy in this vehicle. The sub back there is really doing its work. I may actually need to go in and pull down the bass as a proportion of the audio profile, simply because the reverberation of the doors with the hits of bass was a little distracting. Other notes, the mids and highs were pretty well defined. It got a little bit grainy with a few of the notes, but I'm really pleased with the sound system, especially considering it is standard on this car. It is about time to refuel this 17.3 gallon tank. And the IS 500 is EPA rated at 17 mpg in the city, 25 on the highway, and 20 combined, which would give us a fuel range of 348 miles. However, during my time with the car, I've averaged 12.6 miles per gallon. It is capable, as shown from the history, of 23.5 miles per gallon. But yeah, 12.6. Ouch. And at current fuel prices of $4.95 for the required 91 octane gas, it's gonna cost me about 86 bucks to fill this tank, and there isn't capless fueling, so I have to work just a little bit harder. Well, crew, at the beginning of this video, I pondered what it would be like to live with the last naturally aspirated V8 compact sports sedan. And after quality time spent behind the wheel, I can characterize it as lovely. The seats are comfortable for long and short drives. The styling is sharp and the V8 note is delicious. Yes, the interior layout and the tech is a bit dated, but it's all serviceable. And even the smallish trunk can swallow up most of a large Costco run. The highway commute isn't loud unless you utilize the thumping Mark Levinson sound system, and the dynamics are engaging and fun, despite not being as sharp as some competitors. It's really just the real-world fuel economy that could prove bothersome, because while it is possible to achieve low 20 miles per gallon, it's not while you're enjoying this car's performance at all. When the IS 500 is put out to pasture, it should be missed as a proper daily driver with a delightful soundtrack. I hope you guys have enjoyed this day in the life, and I will see you again next time.